Wait. You guys are telling me my throat is gravelly in the beginning of every intro? And it's cringe and unnecessary? Your intro is total Looney Tunes. Can't take anything you say seriously after that cretinous start. You're starting to hurt my feelings here. Love your channel, dislike your intro, and this one has a thread. I'm confused by it. What the heck is the message? Nobody cares. Same, I have to mute it for the first several seconds. It's so awful. Some people saying blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't even understand it. Like many, I fast forward through it. It's growing on me though, says Keith. You seem smart. Logically, you're ignorant. Now, I don't know who he's talking to up there. Hey, over here saying me too, it's goofy. Screams a lack of credibility and doesn't match what a more intelligent audience might expect. He does go on to say, but I like the content. I always race to fast forward beyond the intro before he does. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. Well, guys, I think I get it. Hey, guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Hey, guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Hey, guys. 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 Hey, guys, and welcome to another episode of Working Money, getting your money working for you. You love the intro so much that you want an extra special one today. So here it is, without further ado. Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Yes, it is the 7th anniversary of Working Money Channel. Today, Working Money Channel is 7 years old. And so for those of you who know, you know what happens every single year on the anniversary. June 12th, 2025. I've been doing this channel since June 12th, 2018. And I want to thank everybody who's been with me, whether you've been with me since 2018 or whether you've been with me since last week. I do want to thank the fans, and I want to let all you guys know the intro is staying the same. I know I'm probably going to get some comments in the comment section commenting on the intro in this particular video. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for sticking with me throughout all these years. I would not be able to do this channel without you. Let's get the show on the road, though, because there is so much to talk about today. CryptoCon here on Twitter posting this. By almost all measures, 160 to 170,000 is the next step up for Bitcoin. Okay, the cycle top on the golden diminishing curves is at +2, which has gone completely untouched, a ticking time bomb for an explosion to the upside. So now it's getting real, guys. We have now surpassed this golden curve for Bitcoin. And so this is the diminishing golden curve. Returns are looking, anywhere near $160,000 to $170,000. I guess the optimistic outlook is $186,000 per coin. And, we still have to see how this does play out. Bitcoin currently is what's happening with Bitcoin. I've got the XRP chart up right now. So Bitcoin getting rejected. Yesterday, we did see Bitcoin trying to butt up against this former level of support. So 110,000, as you guys can see. I still have the lines up here on the chart. Clearly, Bitcoin is trying very, very hard to get up above that level. But we did finally get rejected. Currently, one Bitcoin is going for roughly $108,000 per coin. So we're down now roughly $1,000 per coin. That's the 1 hour chart. If I throw this on the daily, you guys can see here, Bitcoin still trying to make that move to the upside. So we haven't seen any kind of violent moves to the downside, which would denote a bear market for Bitcoin. I still think, based on, the time frame, the 4-year cycle, there are still a few months to go for Bitcoin. And for more detailed information on where I think the market's going to go, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Look at that, like clockwork, pinpointed, rejected from the $110,000 mark. Of course, getting up above $112,000 is key. At the moment, we can see fear and greed is still in the 60s. And this is, one of those times where we have to take stock in where we stand. It's not in the 70s. It's not in the 80s, nowhere near the 90s. 61, that is, the first inklings of positive momentum to the upside. We got market cap that's down by just over a percentage point, and the CMC 100 almost down about 2%, okay, down about 1.91% to 209.24. Altcoin season, slowly but surely, it is moving to the upside. But today we are seeing nothing but red in the space. So because Bitcoin did take that hit off the resistance level at $110,000 per coin, many of the altcoins are also taking that same hit, including XRP. So Currently, what do we have for XRP? This is the daily. I'm just going to throw that back on the hourly to show you guys XRP also getting rejected from its former resistance level. Intraday resistance here for XRP getting rejected from about $2.33 per coin. Currently, one XRP is going for $2.24. So we have seen a bit of a downward trajectory for XRP in the moment. But no worries, guys. This is all par for the course. I mean, the trend still robust. XRP still maintaining support here, and we're also making higher. Are we making higher highs, higher lows? Okay, I mean it's dipping down a little bit. We're coming back to these former lows back from early May, but XRP is bouncing off those and moving up. So hopefully we continue to see this trend move to the upside. But guys, really, it's all about Bitcoin. Really, this is the heart of the market, and we got to be ready to cash out when that beast does explode. I have a feeling this is going to be similar to 2017, where we did see. Let me bring up Bitcoin 2017 for Bitcoin, and I have a feeling, because the market was so. This was weird. 2021, I got to say, was a weird, very, very weird cycle, especially for XRP. I mean, because XRP was under the thumb of the courts. What we're seeing today, though, more traditional in that Bitcoin is slowly grinding to the upside. And we haven't seen this big drop for Bitcoin. Okay, we haven't seen this kind of a thing, the double peak pattern, before the cycle concludes. So I think, the corrections are definitely there. If we do see Bitcoin go up higher, we have to really gauge where the highs are going to go. And, back to this 160, 170, I mean, that's one prediction. I'm personally looking at several different metrics over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. So if you're interested in hearing what I think, follow me. I'm on X posting this. Wall Street will launch XRP ETFs, and Matt Hoogan, the CIO of Bitwise, explains in this clip to CNBC.
We can go further down the spectrum to these other alternative assets that people want exposure to.
Bitwise currently offers, of course, a spot Bitcoin ETF and a spot Ether ETF, but you also have pending applications with the SEC for spot Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP ETFs. So far, the SEC has postponed deciding on whether to give the green light to some of these proposed crypto ETFs. I know you can't talk about these specific filings, but generally speaking, do you think we'll see investment vehicles tied to these altcoins in the US this year, especially amid the backdrop of a more crypto-friendly SEC with Paul Atkins at the helm?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I can't speak to our specific filings, but I can say that I think the SEC is moving in the right direction. If you look at what's happened since we launched Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, all they've done is that they've lowered the cost for investors and increased the security, right? We've dramatically reduced costs. We've dramatically improved security. They've been a net win for investors. What that tells me is that we can go further down the spectrum to these other alternative assets that people want exposure to, that they're currently buying exposure through centralized exchanges, which may have high fees and security risk. Why not allow them to access it in a safe, secure, low-cost ETP format? There's no guarantee that we will get there, but if we're reading the tea leaves, we're very optimistic on many of these alternative assets. Not every crypto asset needs an ETP or should get an ETP, but we think investors want and should get exposure to more assets than just Bitcoin and ETH. And I do think we're going to get there towards the end of the year. The SEC is very constructive. They're open to discussion. It's a breath of fresh air, and we're really enjoying it here at Bitwise.
I just want to replay what Matt Hoogan said there at the beginning of the clip, or how Anonymous did edit this.
We can go further down the spectrum to these other alternative assets that people want exposure to.
Bitwise currently offers, of course, a spot Bitcoin ETF and a spot Ether ETF, but you also have pending applications with the SEC for spot Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP ETFs.
So Matt Hoogan here discussing what's important when it comes to an ETF. And, not all coins obviously are going to have their own ETF. But, as the interviewer does mention here, XRP is on the list. And Matt Hoogan explains here why we're going to need that. So here we have it, guys. Institutional money slowly coming in. We are seeing real world utility too. Egg Crypto posting this. Probably nothing sold in just 2 minutes to 149 investors from 35 different nationalities. Guys, this happening in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Ladies and gentlemen, Dubai's second tokenized property was sold today in 2 minutes. Sounds like it was a fractionalized sale as well. 149 investors bought a piece of Dubai, 35 nationalities, and the average was about 10,067 dirhams each. Average investment. Okay, so we are going big. We are going fast. And here is the listing, okay? Remember, they just did ink a deal. They're committed to tokenizing real estate on the XRP ledger. So we're starting to see this, happen in real time. This is only the second property, and this is just one country doing this in the moment. But guys, it's happening, and it's happening now. So, the real-world utility knocking at our doorstep. This is how, these XRP ETFs are going to become more popular. I think, as the price does rise, as we do see, demand for XRP come from different facets of the economy. All that pent-up demand, guys, is building up, and then eventually we're going to see XRP price explode. So wanted to thank Anonymous, Eggrag Crypto, and of course CryptoCon here for posting that. Now, the Wrath of Kahneman noticed this, guys. VivoPower is going to deploy $100 million in XRP on the Flare networks, okay? They're adding Ripple USD for treasury operations. The NASDAQ-listed firm, which recently adopted an XRP-focused treasury strategy, aims to generate yield on its digital asset holdings via Flare. And so Hugo Fillion was the one who originally posted this. I've got the post up here. VivoPower is set to invest $100 million in XRP, taking advantage of Flare F asset systems just after it launched its XRP treasury strategy. So if you guys don't remember, I did do a video on that. The United States of America did just partner with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is tied to this deal, but the XRP treasury strategy, that is something that is going to be occurring on another level. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch it. Well, guys, we've got more news with regards to this. Following the launch of its XRP treasury strategy, NASDAQ-listed VivoPower International, they've just announced the deployment of $100 million worth of XRP on the Flare network specifically. This holding is expected to earn yield and stack more XRP. It also marks a major investment in the XRP ecosystem. According to an announcement made on June the 11th, VivoPower has partnered with Layer 1 blockchain Flare to deploy its 100 million XRP holdings. Interestingly, this is the first large-scale utilization of Flare's F-asset system, which facilitates the interaction between non-smart contract assets like XRP and decentralized finance protocols. And so Coin Bureau did just put out a tweet to that effect. F-Assets is more than just a bridge, describes Hugo Fillion, one of the founders of Flare. Instead, he termed it a gateway that allows institutions to bring assets like XRP into programmable DeFi environments to generate yield. Fillion noted that the F-Asset system achieves this milestone without compromising its security. So some great connections here. VivoPower is largely focused on generating yield by leveraging Flare native protocols like Firelight. So giving us some more detail, the potential income from the transactions will be reinvested to expand its XRP holdings. It also intends to adopt the RLUSD, so that is also on the table there, the United States dollar-pegged stablecoin issued by Ripple Labs. So these guys going all in on Ripple. Down here, they talk a little bit about the original VivoPower deal, the $121 million to achieve XRP treasury strategy plan. And again, I did already link that video up there in the top right-hand corner. So check that out if you guys are interested in learning more. Wanted to thank Hugo Fillion and, of course, the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Moving on to Africa, though, we've got Uruguay-based DLocal. They're also partnering, so they're a Ripple partner. They're partnering with India's JustPay to strengthen cross-border payment capabilities. So here we go, another couple of companies here forging an important partnership. DLocal, the cross-border payment platform specializing in emerging markets today, did just announce its partnership with Bengaluru-based JustPay. JustPay offers a comprehensive suite of products for merchants that includes open-source payment orchestration, global payouts, seamless authentication, payment tokenization, fraud and risk management, end-to-end reconciliation, unified payment analytics, and more. The company's offerings also include end-to-end white label payment, gateway solutions, and real-time payment infrastructures for banks. The partnership will strengthen the synergy between the two companies, offering customers access to DLocal's over 900 local and alternative payment methods and the broad benefits of JustPay's payment ecosystem in fast-growing markets. The strategic alliance also brings together JustPay's advanced payment orchestration capabilities with DLocal's comprehensive network of local payment methods across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. So covering 3 continents there, Latin America, I guess we could extend to South America. Enterprises can now offer customers a wide array of region-specific options, including credit cards, bank transfers, e-wallets, real-time payments, and cash-based solutions. So the B2B is important there. Also B2C payment flows, diversifying into both streams. So we're looking at a bigger piece of the pie here. It combines DLocal's localized payment expertise with JustPay's technology, enabling merchants to scale their operations and addressing the rising demand for flexible region-specific solutions in emerging markets where DLocal has established a strong presence. And DLocal could not have, in my opinion, I'm just going to argue this as a credible case here, dLocal would not be where they are today if it weren't for RippleNet technology from all those years ago. This was a company that was partnered with Ripple from the early days. They've just been getting bigger and bigger in Africa, and now they are positioned to start partnering up with other meaningful players to increase their business share. So thought that was some great news too. Gonna keep moving, guys, because we happen to get Brad Garlinghouse at Apex 2025 saying that XRP could in fact capture, and he gives such a specific number, which I think is the most interesting thing about this. XRP could capture 14% of Swift volume in just 5 years. So by 2030, we're looking at 14% of Swift's volume. Okay, this courtesy of Jack the Rippler here. I'm not entirely sure who created this clip. There is some music behind it that I don't want to play just for copyright reasons, so I'm just going to go over this. I'm just going to scroll through this. So basically, David Schwartz saying, many hundreds of billions of dollars are going to be tokenized globally. And what do we have next? We have Brad saying the assets are fairly quick. Brad Garlinghouse says in 5 years. Yeah, in 5 years. So, I mean, he says here, and then, so they cut back and forth, okay? David Schwartz continues by saying it's for a dumb reason. Brad says, Swift today, there's 2 ways to get us Swift. So there's a messaging side and there's the liquidity side. He says liquidity is owned by the banks, and I think less about the messaging and more about the liquidity, Brad says. Okay, so you're using it, you're going to drive all the liquidity, and that's good news for XRP anyway. So I'll say 5 years, and here comes the prediction. He says in 5 years, he thinks XRP will get 14%. Now, I will link this in the description of the video for you guys if you actually want to watch the clip. Again, I'm not playing it for copyright reasons, but 14%, that is huge. Now, Jack the Rippler is saying that's over $1,000 per XRP. I'm going to do some other calculations, but first I wanted to give you guys some context. Smoke here posting this. Now, we know ISO 20022, this is the new messaging standard. This is the standard all the banks need to be on before we actually see real-world utility come into effect. And down here, it says Swift did delay the ISO 20022 migration. Originally, it was set for 2021, 2022. Now, let's remember 2021, November specifically 2021. If we go back to the chart here, guys, when was that? That was in and around here. That's when the crypto markets were the most liquid. That's when we saw former all-time highs, November 2021. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think markets have to be liquid, and I think they know that. Milton Berg, who works for Ripple, advocates that the use of digital assets and blockchain technology is enabling faster cross-border payments. On-demand liquidity leverages digital assets and alleviates the need for institutions to pre-fund nostro accounts around the world. So this is part of how we're going to get real-world utility up and running. And so Nietzschebuck's here saying, I've studied Brad Garlinghouse's messaging over the years. When he speaks, he means it. It eventually does come true. So saying XRP will capture 14%, a very specific number, of all the bank's liquidity currently going through Swift is no joke. Reality is setting in. He knows it. The world knows it. We thought this was going to happen much sooner. But now, guys, finally, now we have an answer. Now we have a number, and this is Brad Garlinghouse's very own prediction. Now, just about a month ago, I recently did update a video that I originally created back when I started the channel. Will XRP go beyond $52.96 with 10% of Swift's business? We came to the conclusion that a reasonable range balancing velocity and adoption, we could in fact see a $10 to $100 XRP if the XRPL handles 10% of Swift's volume, implying a market cap of about $508 billion or $5.8 trillion. This is still ambitious as it exceeds most crypto assets today. Higher estimations above $1,000 per coin. That's what Jack the Rippler does think. Let's take a look, though. I mean, Swift today is going to be different than Swift 5 years from now, first of all. So we're being very conservative, I think, here when we take a look at these estimates. Swift facilitates international fund transfers and processes a massive volume of transactions daily. This is just from Google. In 2020, Swift handled 35 million transactions daily, which is now estimated to be about 45 million messages per day. The total value of funds moved through Swift each day is estimated to be around $5 trillion, according to a report on the network. So we're getting that $5 trillion number here. And if we are to assume 14% of Swift, we take 5 and multiply 14%. Guys, that's about 0.7, excuse me, 0.7. So $700 billion if we were to extrapolate, 14%. Now, I thought I would take it upon myself and bring up the XRP calculator, okay, based on Susan Athey and Robert Mitchnick from their paper, A Fundamental Valuation Framework for Crypto Assets. And I'm just going to put in some broad calculations here, okay? So total estimated daily transaction volume in trillions. What did we say? 0.7, okay? So it'd be 700 billion. So it'd be 0.7. And we don't really know many of these other factors. So average time and days between transactions. There are defaults that are set here, guys. I'm just going to keep them at the defaults. I'm just going to keep them at 5. I'm sure they were put here for good reason. The factors we do know, though, are a few, like circulating supply, now that we are in 2025. So store and value in USD. Again, this is considering the current market, but if we can extrapolate and we look at gold and derivatives, think about all the use cases that are going to happen on the XRP ledger. Right now, we're just talking about Swift messaging, so I'm just going to leave it there. Duration at which above volumes are estimated to be reached. So we know it's going to be 5 years. That's what Brad Garlinghouse even said. Circulating supply. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they mean today's circulating supply here or the future circulating supply. For all intents and purposes, let's put, well, I guess if we put 5 years here, let's assume, because we do know that the escrow does release 1 billion XRP per month, and let's just say none of that is re-escrowed. We multiply that by 12 months, so it's 12 billion a year, and then we multiply 12 by 5 years, so that's 60 billion XRP. And we know currently XRP circulating supply, and it's because there have been XRP that have been re-escrowed, but the circulating supply is currently at 58 billion. So if you add 60 billion, we're over the amount. Let's just say it's 100 billion for all intents and purposes. Let's say the entire enchilada is being circulated. We got the interest rate to discount this from the duration to present time. I'm just going to leave it at 5. Again, I will link this in the description if you guys want to mess around with this particular calculator. And guys, here's the number we get 1 XRP worth $262.48 per coin. Again, you can mess with the interest rate, and that will change that a little bit there. Just going to leave it there at 5. You can change all these values if you want, but there you go. A possible $262 XRP if, in fact, Ripple does get 14% of Swift's business, as per Brad Garlinghouse. I just wanted to say thanks again, guys, for making this journey amazing. Happy birthday to the Working Money channel. It's been 7 great years, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.